I am narrating the presentation for the course Management, course code 22509, Unit Outcome 3. Explain the main provisions of the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. In this presentation, we are going to learn the main provisions of the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Objectives: to know the objective, scope and coverage of the Act, to remember the important aspect of the Act, to have knowledge about authorities under Industrial Dispute Act like Labor Commissioner, tribunals, courts, etc. To understanding rights of employee and employer, and to understand the collective bargaining concept. Introduction. According to the Industrial Dispute Act 1947, industrial dispute is any dispute between employee and employee or between employer and employee related to the type of the work or related to the wages, incentive, etc. Labor and management oppose each other in numerous ways in the course of daily work. Most of the industrial jobs are repetitive, monotonous, difficult, and even difficult to work. As a result of this, management uses strict supervision to get the work done. While, on the other hand, the workers think that they are exploited by the management. They are taking the work, extra work. They are working very hard. The interest of these two parties are in conflict with each other on the daily basis. Important definitions. Award means decision of the labor court or the industrial tribunals. Average pay means in case of monthly paid employee, average payment of the 3 months. In case of the weekly payment of employee, average payment of 4 weeks. And in case of daily payment of employee, average payment of 12 working days. Industry means anything is going to produce, manufactured, or any workshop is giving services is called as industry. Important definitions. Layoff means inability of employer to run the organization due to the shortage of coal, power, raw material, or breakdown of the machinery, etc. Layoff is a temporary phase. The employee-employer relation do not come to the end because of the layoff. While reverse of this, lockout means closing the factory or suspension of the work or the refusal by the employer to continue to employ any number of work in the industry. Utility means steam, coal, power, water, etc. And strike means it is a refusal of the work by the employee for their demands against the employer. Important definitions. Retrenchment means the termination of the services of the worker by the employer for the reason like indiscipline or misbehavior. Retrenchment does not include the retirement, termination of the services on the ground of continued ill health. Settlement means setting common minimum demand between employee and the employer. This demand may be for the working hours or there may be for the wages. Employee means worker working in the organization and doing any type of the work. Necessity of the Act. To ensure social justice to both employee and employer, and to have the progress of the industry by reducing the dispute between them. To settle dispute arising between the employee and employer by a peaceful method or by approaching to the court, tribunal or labor commissioners. To promote good relationship between the employee and employer. To prevent illegal strike and lockouts. To provide compensation of the work in case of any industry is being closed or retrenchment or the layoff. To protect the workman against the victimization by the employer, always there is some extra work is there by the employee, by the employer. And to ensure the termination of the industrial dispute in a peaceful manner. Causes of industrial dispute or conflicts. That is, economic cause may be less wages, salaries, or industry is not making the profit. Social causes means low morale, corruption, pollution, or rising unemployment. Political cause means political rivalry, unstable government. Technical causes means loss of job due to the automation or unsuitable technology which is operated by the worker. Psychological causes means loss of job or low job satisfaction while working in the organization. Market causes means competition is there and because of that the industry is making the less profit, recession. And legal causes means court orders of closing down factories or shifting the factories from one location to the another location. Authorities under the Act. Any industry in which 100 or more workers are employed shall constitute a work committee. Work committee shall have equal representation of the worker and employer both, that is a 50-50% representation. Work committee shall promote a good relationship between the worker and the employer. Conciliation officer is appointed by the appropriate government and they shall mediate and promote a harmonial relationship between the employee and employer and they may settle the industrial dispute. Government may appoint a board of conciliation to promote settlement of an industrial dispute. Authorities under the Act. Board of Conciliation will be headed by the chairman, that is independent person from the industry, and shall have two or four other members, which will be representative of the employee and employer, that is both the parties. Court of inquiry. Appropriate government may constitute a court of inquiry to look into any matter connected with the industrial dispute. Court of inquiry may consist one or more independent person, that is rather than or away from the industry. The court shall inquire and submit a report ordinarily within 6 months from the commencement of the inquiry. Authorities under the Act. First is Labor Court. The appropriate government may constitute a labor court consisting relating to the industrial disputes specified in the second schedule. The jurisdiction for the labor courts are the order passed by the employer under the standing orders means whatever the order passed related to the work related to the employee. Legality of strike or lockout, whether the lockout or the strike are legal or not. Dismissal of the workers by the employer and withdrawal of any concession or privilege, just like a bonus, incentives, working hours, holidays. Tribunals. The appropriate government means state government may constitute one or more tribunal for the judgment of industrial dispute arising between the employee and employer and it is mentioned in the second or third schedule of the Act. Tribunal shall consist only one person which is appointed by the state government. The person appointed on the tribunal should be a judge of the High Court or he may be a district judge or the additional judge and having the experience of not less than 3 years. National tribunals. Under the Section 7B, the central government has been empowered to constitute one or more national tribunal for the judgment of the industrial dispute arises between the employee and the employer. A national tribunal shall consist of only one person to be appointed by the central government. A person that is the appointed on the tribunal has been a judge of High Court and appoint two persons as assistant to advise the national tribunal. Section 7C further provide that such a presiding officer should be an independent person that is away from the industry and must not have attained the age of 65 years. When the matter has been referred to the national tribunal, then he will judge the dispute and this dispute or result of the dispute must be submitted to the central government under the section of 15. Strike and lockout. If industry employee want to go on strike, then they should give a notice to the employer before the 14 days that we want to go to the strike for this type of the demands. No employer or any public utility services like a transportation, water facilities should not go on to strike without giving notice of lockout within 6 weeks before locking out. The employer shall send information of the strike or lockout to the specific authority like a labor commissioner or factory inspector on the day on which it is declared. A strike or lockout is illegal if it is declared in contravention of point 1 and point 2 of section 22 and 23 of the Act. Nobody shall knowingly expend a money or shall provide a money in direct support of the illegal strike or the lockout. Difference between layoff and lockdown. Layoff is a temporary phase, while lockout is maybe temporary or permanent. In the layoff, the business continues. In the lockout, business get closed down. In the layoff, the wages of the workers are continue. But in a lockdown, there is no any question of the wages given to the employee. Layoff is not concerned with the dispute between the employee and the employer, while lockout may be concerned with the dispute between the employee and the employer. Layoff is for the trade reason beyond the control of the employer, that is, it is not an intentional act, that is, there is no power or industry is not making the profit or there is a breakdown of the machineries, etc. While lockout is an act of the part of the employer to take to pressurize the workers. That is an intentional act. Right of employee laid off for compensation. A worker having more than 1 years of service, then he shall get a compensation equal to 50% of his total basic wages and dearness allowance, that is DA, for the 45 days for the layoff. No compensation shall be paid to the worker during the layoff under the following condition, like if he refuses to accept the alternative employment involving same wages offered to him, that is change of the location of the industry from one city to another city, or if the layoff is due to the strike of the workers. Penalties. Any workman or worker commences continues a strike which is illegal under this act shall be punishable with imprisonment, that is jail, for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 50 rupees or both. Penalties for provocation. Any person who provocate or support to take part in strike or lockout, which is illegal under this act, shall be punishable with imprisonment, that is jail, for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with a fine which may extend to rupees 1000 rupees or both, which is mentioned under the section of 27 of this act. And penalties for giving financial aid or illegal strike. Any person who knowingly supplied any money to support a strike which is illegal under this act shall be punishable to jail, which may be term up to 1 year, or fine of 1000 rupees or both. Collective bargaining. Collective bargaining is a procedure by which the terms and conditions of the workers are regulated by agreement between the employee and the employer. The trade union and workers are pressurizing to each other for improving the terms and conditions of the employment. There are various concepts of collective bargaining with different emphasis and stress, namely marketing concept. This concept focuses on agreement on the pay hours and non-financial benefits which are mutually agreed between the employer and the trade union representative on behalf of their members. And the government concept of collective bargaining regards the rule making process, that what should be the rules, regulation, how the employment will be there of the workers, relationship between the employee and employer, etc. Conclusions. The Industrial Dispute Act 1947 tries to resolve any dispute between the employee and employee or employee and the employer, that is between the worker and the management or the top management. Industrial Dispute Act containing many provisions regarding a good relationship between the employee and the employer, investigation and settlement of the industrial dispute, prevention of the illegal strike by forming the tribunals, relief to the workman in the matter of layoff and retrenchment, and promotion of collective bargaining, that is agreement between the worker and the employer. The responsibility of administration of this act rests with the tribunal and labor court. If this act is implemented properly, then there will be a social and economic progress of the workers, and finally the social status of the worker will be enhanced, and also there is a good progress of the industry, and it will make a good profit. Thank you.